So I've been playing guitar now for about 25 years, and basically since the very beginning I have been obsessed with just getting better, whether that's faster, cleaner, or just acquiring more control on the instrument. And over those years as well, I've basically studied all of the greats that inspired me, watched all of their instructional videos, read all the books, but even then I kind of felt like there were always gaps. I always felt as if I had just dozens of important but unanswered questions. And over time, I realized that progress not only comes from truly understanding the mechanics of this technique, but also acquiring the ability to practice with purpose. I've basically always approached my practice a bit like a fitness routine. So what I mean by that is I always try to make sure it's structured, definitely goal-driven, and also constantly refined, so that I'm always sort of not just making adjustments to fit around my personal life, but to ensure that there is always a sort of upward trajectory in terms of my progress. And it kind of, going back to the whole rage-filled practice comment. Okay, so I've been tasked to read out a comment left by someone, I'm assuming somewhere on social media. Not sure where or what, but anyway, let's have a look. You can literally look at his face and see why he's so good. That man has a look on his face like he's determined to slam his head through a brick wall and he's about to do it. We are talking rage-filled practice, where if that guitar doesn't bend to his will, it's going to die. And the guitar knows it. The sort of earlier days, like back in my early 20s, when I came from about 8 years of being obsessed with bodybuilding and wanted to sort of redirect my energy into music and playing guitar again. And I basically took the same approach to practice as I did my workouts, basically using rage as the primary motivator, or kind of a form of rage, let's say, whether, kind of how you feel from frustration or something like that. And it kind of worked to an extent, if I'm honest, but it was short-lived. I stopped seeing progress pretty quickly, but thankfully I found out a better form of motivation, and that is just pure inspiration, just pure positive inspiration. And I found that to just be the best thing to kind of help every aspect you need to master something, like truly master something. And aspects of which that alternate picking basically demands from you. I'm talking about just determination and persistence and consistency, all that stuff. Positive inspiration is the best thing to motivate you to, excel in all of those areas. So why alternate picking schematic 2.0? So compared to the first release, this one basically goes 100 times deeper. I've broken down every single mechanical aspect of alternate picking, even the things most people overlook. I've left no stone unturned and explained all of this in great detail. I've also designed the licks, solos, and even the exercises to not just challenge you, but they won't feel like exercises. They're musical, inspiring, and they'll push your technique without killing your creativity. This course flows in stages, so we'll begin with a section called Foundry, where we'll take a deep dive into core principles and elements that give us that strong foundation to truly master alternate picking. Then we move on to a section called Momentum, and here the goal is to just keep climbing, faster, cleaner, and more refined. And finally, a section called Overkill, and this reflects my core philosophy of basically going above and beyond so that our technique feels effortless and bulletproof. So we'll also take deep dives into key areas like pick slanting, independence, synchronicity, all explained clearly and also backed by musical examples as well. And one of the biggest highlights for me in this pack is revealing my picking speed workout. So I've been refining this now for about 15 years, and I can promise you, I'm willing to stick my neck on the line, I can promise you, you will see instant results with this workout. So whether you want to build speed, maintain it, or recover it, this works every single time. So yeah, if you are serious about alternate picking, this pack gives you everything you need. Structure, understanding, knowledge, and the exact tools to take your playing beyond the next level.